Hello and welcome. My name is Debbie Reed. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Kingston, Idaho. And today I am going to do a guide card using the Mountain Air stamp set. And we are going to be using everything in the stamp set except the clouds. On the stamp set has a bundle, and we will be using every single die in the set also except for this little piece. So let me show you the card. This is the card we're going to make today, and I actually am doing a different version. We're going to do something different with the sky. So let me show you what we're using to make the card. We need the thick Whisper White cardstock, a piece of early espresso, another piece of Whisper White, only just the regular. Then you need a scrap piece of crumb cake, another scrap piece of early espresso, a piece of Pear Pizzazz to make the trees, and another piece of Whisper White for the sentiment and the moon. So let's get started on the card, folding the card base in half. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and just crease it. And then we're going to put this aside for the moment. Let me put this over here so it's not in the way. Okay, the very first thing I'm going to do is take our little piece that's going to overlay, and I'm going to take a piece of scratch paper, and we're going to take, let me show you the colors we're going to be using. We're going to be using the Memento Black, a Pool Party, and then we're also using Missy Meadow, Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, and Early Espresso. The first thing I'm going to do, I go on YouTube, and sometimes I go to the dollar store. These I happen to get at the dollar store. So this is just a face brush, and then this is something that I bought on Amazon, different brushes. So they really do a great job when you're doing a brush effect. I'm going to take the Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to take this big blush brush, and we're going to just rub this in the ink, wipe some off, and then just come across the top in a swirl motion. And then get some more and brush some off, swirl some back on until you get that desired depth of color that you're looking for. Okay, then I'm going to take this other brush. I'm not done with this yet, so we're going to now take the Magenta Madness. I just wanted to give more of a purple kind of tone. I'm going to come in with the Magenta Madness and swirl some of that. I think I just got too much on there, but I'm not worried about it because I will be coming back in with the Misty Moonlight. So I'm done with the Magenta Madness. Going to swirl some more of this in there. Blend that so it's not so pink. Okay, and that's it. Done. All right, now I'm going to show you, I die cut a bunch of the little trees, and I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus. Going to show you how you ink these. So you've already die cut all your trees. Obviously, they're not stamped yet. And you make your template by cutting. You're going to stamp your tree and then die cut it. And now we are going to get our Missy Meadow. We're going to ink these up. It's best if you have a stamp set under here, so put that under here to give it support. The nice thing about this is if you want it to have just a little bit of a darker depth. I know my ink is kind of running out of ink, so I might have to stamp it again, and then it's perfectly lined up when you have to re-ink it again. Just give it a tiny bit more. I want it a little bit darker. And then you can mass produce these and just keep doing this until you have them all done. Okay, those are done. Perfect. I'm liking that. We'll put this out of the way. And then I'm going to just show you now all the pieces that I have pre-cut so that you will know. So I have these two trees. I die cut these two trees. I die cut the mountain, and I die cut this little piece that's going to go on the bottom of the card. So let me show you how and what we're doing with all these pieces. So the very first thing I'm going to do is take my scrap paper and bring it back in. I'm going to take these trees and use our bronze blend. And I'm going to just color the bottom of these trees. And then I'm going to take a thin line up the middle just to give it some of the trunk. Okay, then I'm going to come in to give it some more depth. I'm going to take a sponge dauber and I'm going to daub it in the Missy Meadow. And I'm just randomly daubing on here just to give it a little more depth, some variance of color. Okay, then we'll do the same to this one. Okay, that's all there is to that. All right, simple, right? Okay, now we are going to take our mountain and we're using the early espresso, and I'm going to take the mountain with the texture on it. So if you turn it on the other side, you would just get the mountain image. We want the actual whole texture. So I'm taking early espresso ink on early espresso. Close that. And now when I line this up, I'm lining it up above the top of the mountain just so I get a nice image without a ridge, if that makes any sense. And I'm not concerned about the bottom because it's going to get covered up. So there's our mountain. Now we're going to take the other stamp and we're going to ink it up in Missy Meadow. And same thing. I'm coming above the edge so that it gives it a nice crisp top without it having an edge. This is what I'm referring to. I don't want to see that white. I want it to be filled in like this one. So you can also take a marker and do that as well. And that's actually okay. I'm happy with that. So we're going to just quit there while we're ahead. And now to put this together, take back our little sponged piece. And we're going to determine, oh, I do need to do one more thing here before we get going. I need to take our little scrap piece, remove this, and we're going to take the stamp with the little moon, and I'm going to ink that up in Pool Party. And I am going to bring that paper back in and stamp off because I don't want it to be super strong. Okay, then ink it, and then I am going to take a 1-inch punch and punch this out. Just like that. And let me see something. Yeah, that will do fine. Okay, we're going to just go with it. I was thinking that was going to be too much, but we're going to go with it. So I'm going to glue down the mountain. Just add a little bit of glue to the back of this. I'm going to just kind of somewhat have, okay, that looks good to me right there. And now I'm going to glue down the moon. And put that about right there because I made a mistake and it covered it. Perfect. And then I'm going to take this piece and we're going to overlay it on here. So instead of gluing this, because I'm going to cut it, I'm going to glue on this bottom part of the mountain because it's going to overlay and come down on the bottom of the white of the card. That way when I go to cut this piece off, I'm not getting glue all over my scissors. Okay, that looks good like that. Now we're going to flip this over, grab our scissors, or you can also use the little chopper cutter, but I'm going to do it with the scissors just because they're here. All right, cut that off and cut this edge off. All right, get this out of the way and cut this piece. All right, now we are going to overlay this on our early espresso cardstock. This is a really quick, easy card once you've cut all your little die cut pieces. I didn't want to do that on video because most people know how to die cut and it's just boring to watch people die cut. So this card is quick, 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 and awesome when it gets put together. Okay, now we are going to take our thick Whisper White card base and we're going to glue this to it. All right, just like that. And put this on the thick Whisper White cardstock. Okay, now this is where the fun comes in because we get to now layer all this lovely stuff. Okay, we're going to take our silicone mat and we are going to take our two little trees that we've daubered and we're going to flip them over, use the tape runner, and I'm just doing the bottom half. I want them to be free form on the top of the card. So get this out of the way so we don't have sticky. And I'm going to place one of these up high, about right there. And I'm going to place this other one coming down a little bit. So I have different heights happening here. And I can see I'm going to have to trim this little stem just a tiny bit. There we go. And now I'm going to take another of the trees, the two trees that we just did with the Stamparatus. I'm going to flip them around. We're going to use the little mini dimensionals and the large dimensional on the bottom of the larger tree, two of them. And I'm going to take the minis and there we are. Going to put one there, put one there, and on this tree we're going to just put 3. The tabs are already coming off. That's funny. That's okay, helping me along. And one more. Right there. Okay, and take the tabs off. Okay, and now before I get ahead of myself, we're just putting this one down and I'm just kind of placing it between these two trees. So I think I want to come down a little bit here, just in the middle, just to give a little break there. Okay, now I pre-cut a little flag sentiment strip and I'm going to use the early espresso with a little happy birthday sentiment. And I believe this sentiment came from the golf stamp set. And this is the die from that set. There we go. And then I'm going to put this away again so I don't get my hands in there. I'm going to use a strip of burlap. I don't know if we sell this burlap anymore, but you could use anything. You don't have to have what I'm using. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat again. I'm going to use my tape runner and I'm going to run this on the back and then place this on the ribbon. Just like that. And the nice thing is with the tape runner, you can actually adjust it. So then I'm going to take my scissors again and cut straight right there and cut straight right here. All right, now I'm going to glue just where the sentiment is on the back, because otherwise the glue would run all over the place. I'm going to adhere this to the card on the bottom, and that's going to help me line the tree that's going to pop up on here. Put that about right there. So what I like to do is have this tree come over the moon a little bit off the side. Okay, there we have that. And now, just to give just a little extra, I don't even know if it's necessary, but I'm going to just add a couple of the birds. Let's see, put one probably down here. And I don't know, do I want more? I don't know. Sometimes we can get too carried away and make it look ridiculous. I'm gonna quit because I do have a tendency to overdo it. So that's the outside of the card. And now for the inside, I'm going to take those two stamps that were on the Stamparatus. Let me wipe these off really quick and put them on a block. And we're going to ink these also in the Missy Meadow. And I have a smudge on my card already. I'm so good at that. Let's see, we'll take our Memento eraser, and it just peels the paper so it gets the ink off. There we go. And we will ink the tree in Missy Meadow. I'm going to ink that right down here. I'm going to come off a little bit, and then I'm going to ink again. Well, I'm going to stamp this off because I wanted a second rendition. There's a spot on my stamp. Not good. All right, that's not going to work. Hold on one second. All right, ink it off. I've got to wipe this off. There's a definite dot that's made that circle there, and I do not want that on there. Okay, let's try again. My goodness, it's still there. I need to rub this. There is definitely a grease spot, so this may not work. But anyway, you would come back in and you're just giving a second rendition like that. I can fix this later. And then I'm coming in with the sentiment, and that's going to be in early espresso. And it is going to say, hope your day is as wonderful as you are. Right there. And that is it. This is the card. I hope you liked it. I hope you will create something uniquely yours, or feel free to case mine. Casing means copy and sharing. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos, you can click the bell and subscribe, and you will be in to receive the next video that I upload. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and go make something uniquely yours. Bye.